All right, hello everyone. Welcome to another show, Career Talk with IT professionals. And today we have a technical founder and CEO. So our guest today is none other than Mr. Noel del Castillo. Sir, can you say hi to our audience?
Hi guys, nice to meet you all.
All right, so let's get to it. Sir, what is a technical founder? Please describe your role for us.
Okay, so a technical founder is the one in charge of building the product, the company. Um, from when you say building the products, from architectural stage to development to DevOps stage. In my responsibility, in both of my companies, so I'm CEO of Pragtechnologies, which is a software development firm, and SeeYouDoc, which is a e-health startup, provides telemedicine to medical providers.
Yes. Right. So, sir, moving on, asking about a technical founder and CEO, what value is it to have a technical founder in a company? No, some startups have a non-technical founder paired with a technical founder. No, what
Yeah,
advantages or what? Yeah, in that sense, must that companies have a technical founder?
yeah, I've been asked those questions a lot. For me personally, being a tech CEO
Mm-hmm.
uh, puts you into the position of uh, ho- how to go to your vision towards your company. Like in our company in SeeYouDoc, when we're building health technologies, uh, being a tech CEO, I know how to move the company and build the right culture, which is a tech culture.
Mm-hmm.
And in some cases kasi, this is a English channel lang ba or both English
Pwede
Tagalog?
Taglish, pag Taglish tayo dito.
Pwede Taglish,
Mm-hmm.
okay. So, in most cases, 'di ba, pagka ang CEO hindi siya tech,
Mm-hmm.
um, more on ano may times hindi nagkako-complement yung direction,
Mm.
especially with the business and the tech. So, in my case, since I'm both doing that, so I can already bridge the business need and the tech capability. And then if ever, kasi sa tech, ang daming variables niyan, di ba? You need to manage the people, you need to choose the right technology, you need to understand your competition. So all of these factors, being a tech CEO, you can already incorporate it in your strategy.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes if the CEO is not technical enough, he doesn't know how to strategize his way towards this IT industry kasi IT is really very competitive.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're not tech oriented and you're doing something that is business lang, chances are it'll be very hard for you to survive in the tech. So in my side, yun yung advantages ko kasi um, like I can already figure out how to manage the cost, how to motivate people,
Mm-hmm.
how to use the right technology, and make sure that the strategy that we're using is competitive in the market.
Right, right. And does this mean also, are you double hatting as the CEO, CTO, or are you considering also having a CTO on board when you are a technical founder?
Yes, that's a part of the plan. And ang downside lang talaga ng being CEO, CTO is it's also hard to do dual roles.
Yes.
Ideally, it has to be separate talaga.
Mm-mm.
But on the bootstrap stage, on the early stage of the company, okay lang yun. Kasi it's also hard to convince other people to, like if you're a business guy, you want to convince a CTO to join you.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to do that kasi a CTO level person is already earning 6 digits in the market industry. So how to convince that person to join you and believe in your mission?
Yes.
It's very difficult. But if you're the guy, if you're the tech guy who can already build, the only thing that you need to surround yourself talaga are the marketing, sales people.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes, if you have a good product would already sell on its own, di ba? Kasi
Yes.
yun naman ang idea for startups. And but in our case, part kumbaga ang plano namin is during the early stage, parang dual role talaga ako. Pero now that we're already raising funds, and then once we close those rounds, that we will allocate for not really CTO agad eh. What I'm doing kasi is I'm grooming my lead developers for that position. It's also hard kasi to find someone who already fit yung culture namin, yung tech na ginagamit namin,
Correct.
yung architecture. So all of those things, lahat yung tinuturo ko na sa team ko eh. And meron na ako mga candidates who can get that position eventually. So yun yung parang angle, yun yung strategy ko, parang after 2 years, they can now parang be the CTO of the company, and then I can now do the CEO.
Right.
Mas madali for me to, kumbaga the adoption is already in place.
Now since medyo 2 years from now pa or maybe earlier depending on the progress of your developers. So at the moment, I'm pretty sure our viewers are curious, do you still code yourself?
Yeah.
And if ever, what's your stack?
Yeah, I still code. And yun, passionate talaga ako mag-code at this stage. Ang tech stack kong ginagamit namin ngayon is Elixir. And before I used Ruby, and then before Ruby nag.NET C# din ako. Pero after 4 years ago, we transitioned na sa Elixir, and we love Elixir. So Elixir yung back end talaga namin, and then we've been deploying the cloud. Maraming flavors yung ginagamit namin sa DevOps. Pero all of it are Linux based. Meron kami mga flavors on our own virtual machines, tapos meron din kaming Kubernetes. Tapos yung sa front end namin, we're using React. Pero nasubukan din namin yung mga Vue.js, pero nag-stick na kami ngayon sa React.
Alright.
And then ano pa ba? Sa mobile, we're using React Native, pero we're now doing more native approach, Android and Swift. So yeah, so nagko-code pa rin ako, and pero ang role ko na ngayon is more on architecture side. Mostly like yung defining the diagrams, tapos yung when we create user stories, naka-define na rin doon paano siya naka-connect doon sa architecture ng buong platform. Tapos yung services, yung product kasi namin, nag-start kami with monolith. And then we're transitioning towards microservices under the same Erlang platform. So hindi siya TCP connected. So yun yung stages namin. Tapos marami na rin kaming mga different storage na ginagamit. PostgreSQL, RabbitMQ for queuing services. Tapos meron din kami ginagamit sa Elasticsearch for search indexing. So yun yung mga different tech stack na ginagamit namin.
Right. And sir, for our audience now who might not have heard about what Elixir is, maybe you can just give a short snippet. What is Elixir?
Okay, sige. Elixir is a functional programming language. It's something very early pa siya. I guess mga 2014 yata siya nag-boom. Pero the language was was built on terms of the Erlang programming language talaga. And then it was inspired by Ruby. So if you're coming from Ruby on Rails, moving towards Elixir, you will have the same parang feel. But ang kaganda kasi na Elixir is a functional programming language, means it's not an object-oriented programming language. So meaning in terms of state management, it's a stateless language. So everything is, when you say stateless, kumaga your system can run concurrently. And if you're doing in your DevOps, in your environment, if you're doing horizontal scaling, you have multiple nodes or pods, diba? That is executing or processing your transactions. Wala kang issue with that because everything is stateless. That's the reason why we're using Elixir. At the same time, it's very fast, and in terms of our development process is also very fast. Ang bilis lang like when you do unit testing, ang style kasi namin is test-driven development. So we do test first before we execute the codes. Kumaga we're also using Vim. So kapag ka nag-run kami ng mga test, very instant lang yung mga results. Ganun siya kabilis. Pagka i-compare mo siya with like Ruby, diba may mga certain seconds na maghihintay ka sa test results. Ito sobrang parang microseconds lang yun dyan. And maganda siya for back-end talaga. Ganda yung adapter niya for API development, for Postgre database. Yeah, so that's Elixir. Hopefully na look yung clarity.
So to our audience, no, just in case you haven't heard of Elixir and you wanna check it out, no, because of the advantages that Sir Noel just mentioned.
Yeah. Although as Elixir still, it's not yet that famous then, kasi nga it's a functional programming language. Pero yeah, so it's getting a lot of attention from previous years na.
Right. So as a CEO, you basically manage your company, no? How would you describe your management style?
Well, lead by example. so for example, as a tech guy, diba? When I hire people, in terms of the learning curve, when we started the company, ang first hire ko talaga puro fresh grad. And that was like 4 years ago. Actually, 5 years ago na pala. And then
no? That's half a decade already.
Yeah, thank you. So 5 years ago, mga first hire ko was puro fresh grad. Then tinrain ko sila on how to do the right mga techniques sa software development. And then the trick kasi on the tech-based company kasi is you also need to be able to interact with your clients, diba?
Yes.
And then be able to communicate with them the business side and then translate it on the tech side and then deliver the results so that the expectation is clear. So yun yung style ko. I'm really on the front, leading the people. I'm handling the client side, I'm handling the architecture side, and then I'm providing them, parang tinuturo ko talaga kung paano siya dapat gawin. Tapos, pagka nagawa na nila, tuturuan ko na ulit ng mga bagong techniques. Kasi sa software development, even though na marunong ka na mag-code, realize mo, yung years of experience talaga yung yung nagmamatter. Kasi nga, iba-iba talaga ang situation yan.
Yeah, true.
And, so being in the industry for more than 10 years na rin, so parang yun yung lagi ko ginagawa is mentoring all of them. Until now, parang pag kami blockers, ang responsibility is to unblock them. Ganito dapat ang ginawa mong logic dyan, etc. So that's my style. So really, more on a mentor, more on a leader, and then hindi ako nagpapagawa ng something na feeling ko di ko rin kayang gawin. So ganun ako, parang pagka nagawa ko na siya or may papagawa kong technique or features, mini-make sure ko na na alam ko paano rin siyang gawin para pag na-block siya, kaya ko rin pakita na dapat ganito yung ginawa mong style.
Yes.
So yeah, so ang lang nun, ang challenge sa akin nun is just, I also need to make sure na I'm always on top, di ba, on the current trends and technologies. That's why parang we always invest in R&D na kung saan nag-export kami ng mga bagong tech, ginagamit namin siya sa mga pet projects, and then in-incorporate namin siya sa mga client-based projects.
Right. You mentioned a little bit about 5 years ago you mostly hired fresh grad, no? How about now, no? How's your hiring strategy? Do you look for things like certification? Do you still look more towards fresh grad? What is your hiring policy now? Or yeah,
it's almost the same pa rin katulad ng last year kasi nag-work kasi yung ganung style namin na we hire people based on, number one is based on attitude. We filter them kung so in our interview process, we ask the applicants 5 questions in terms of their priority. Actually, 1 question. So tinatanong namin, what's your priority for you to be happy in your career, diba? And then it parang arrange them from your highest priority to the lowest. So number one is opportunity. Are you happy because you're looking for because the companies provides you the opportunity to grow and learn?
Yes, yes.
Second is um, uh, compensation. You're happy
Mm-hmm.
with the job because you're being paid well. Third is work environment.
Mm.
You're happy at the job because malapit lang yung location or the people you
Yeah,
work
true.
with are,
May
di ba,
factor
happy.
yan. Yeah, may
May
factor
factor
actually.
yan, di ba? Fourth is actual work. So meaning you're happy because of your work because yung actual work na ginagawa mo every day, this is something that you're passionate of doing. Diba? So for example, if you're a programmer and you're passionate of programming, yun yung isang malaking factor. And last is company reputation. So meaning you're happy at the job because you're proud ka na you're part of that company. So very factor. So we ask them and then we rank them. Okay, anong priority mo dito, etc., etc. And then once we figure that out, minamash lang din namin sa hinahanap namin. And then we tell them na parang, okay, like for example, if you're asking for a job na sobrang taas ng pay na hinahanap mo, we tell them na we're not the right fit kasi kumbaga we're still at this stage of the startup, etc. Pero if some people are looking for opportunities to learn for the next 2 years and maging magaling talaga sa programming, ayan, sige, we can hire you. And then we'll provide them with a boot camp na kung saan it's a 3 months stage na we provide them some modules na prepare na namin. They do it on their own. Tapos, pagka based sa progress nila, ini-involve na namin sila paunti-unti sa mga existing projects.
Wow, that's an amazing program, no? Parang training na bootcamp on the first 3 months. Yeah.
Yep. Kaya minsan, yung mga interns, pagka mga gusto mag-intern sa amin, sinasalang na agad namin sila sa bootcamp kasi pagka pumasa na sila doon, okay, sige, pwede namin silang i-hire sa mga projects na ginagamit namin. And then we're not, in terms of sa mga experience, developers din naman na naka-work namin. Usually, depende kasi marami na kasi ngayon mga freelance na ginagawa So ginagawa namin, we hire them as a freelance or a consultant. Kasi, doon din sila comfortable. And may times talaga na project-based siya or sabihin namin, kailangan lang namin to for just 2 months, 3 months. Happy sila doon kasi as a freelance, di ba, ang target mo doon is to have a more exposure in project kasi binibigyan mo yung credibility. So, yun yung nag-work out talaga sa amin. We mix it up with freelance, experienced professionals, and then we invest on young developers. And then we build a culture of trust and teamwork.
Right. And again, to our viewers, ito, maganda. Sir Noel already mentioned that they accept interns, no? So if ever that's something you're not confident yet, like, hey, I'm looking for an internship where there's really a planned boot camp, no? It seems like this is one of the best place to go, no? Hands-on experience pa. May potential ma-deploy sa actual project, right?
Yeah, ang gusto ko lang dagdag, nagbago lang talaga yung style na ngayon dahil pandemic. Everything is work from home. Mahirap lang mag-mentor ng remote sa ngayon. So those are the challenges na parang kumaga before kasi parang okay lang. Sige, everybody was in the same office Ang challenges namin ngayon is since everything is remote, it's really up to the individual to the applicant to show initiative na willing to learn. Kasi kung di siya magtatanong, wala siya matututunan, hindi rin effective sa amin yun. So, yun lang yung mga some challenges na experience namin during the pandemic.
Right. And if I can ask now, prior to this pandemic, as an intern, some students will say, ay, mahirapan ako mag-intern ngayon kasi wala akong equipment, wala akong laptop. But even before, let's say, when it was still physically possible to go to the office, how about the equipment? Is that something interns have to get ready on their own, or do you guys provide that equipment for them?
Before, pagka-interns program kasi, hindi namin provide yung equipment for that kasi it's hindi pa siya hired hindi pa siya employee for the company. Pero once you're an employee, meron ka ng equipment na bibigay sa'yo. So, yun yung kailangan talaga paghandaan ng individual dahil like if you really want to enter in the development in the IT space, you really need to have your own personal dev machine. So yun, yung ganun ang situation. Pero everything naman pagka nag-issue na kami laptop based para work from home.
Correct. And again, just to ask, no, any recommended for a student, no? Let's say a student yung looking for tight budget, of course. What is the recommended specs or equipment that they should at least invest in?
Sa amin, if you're gonna enter into our company, ideally, meron kang knowledge on Linux. Ubuntu, you can just install. Ubuntu is free. And maliit lang ng specs na kailangan mo sa Ubuntu eh. Pwedeng 8 gig lang yan or 4 gig. Kagana na yan. Then, depende yan sa gusto mong track. Like, if you're into a back-end developer, may mili ka kasi either back-end or front-end eh. So, back-end, these are focused on the API, sa Elixir, sa database. Then, yung front-end, focused on HTML, CSS, React. Ngayon, nagti-tailwind na kami. So, yun yung mga yun yung angle na papili namin yung employee, yung applicant. And then, once nakapili na sila na track, then they can now start doing their parang mga assignments. Tapos, pinapresent yun at the end of the day. Then, tuturo rin namin, kaya ka na-block dyan kasi ganito ginawa mo. Tapos, gagawin nyo lang hanggang sa matapos yan. Pag natapos na nyo na, alright, sige, good. Then, yun na yun. May mga chances na pwede namin silang i-hire na for the project.
Right. And so guys, narinig nyo yun hindi nyo kailangan ng gaming laptop. So, sa mga if may parents din nanonood, no, wag kayong magpaloko na humihingi ng gaming laptop para maging developer. Unless game developer yung track nila, siguro hindi kailangan ng gaming laptop. So, affordable enough naman, no? As mentioned, parang 8 sabi mo, parang minsan 4 gig or 8 gig nga lang na RAM, Ubuntu or Linux based, that's already a good laptop for work or internship, right?
Yeah, just to add then, if you want to go to a mobile development side, so obviously kailangan mo ng Mac.
True.
Pero ang technique dyan is to, like in our case, we provide Mac naman pag na-hired ka na as an employee. So basta importante lang is you learn enough programming and then choose the right company na parang that provides you the equipment for you to work. So in our case, so pagka napakita mo na you're doing well with your own setup, 'di ba? Doing Elixir in a Linux-based setup, which is maliit lang 'yan, mga less siguro 20,000 lang investment mo, okay ka na, meron ka na computer na okay eh. Then you don't need to invest in a Mac. You can just use a company laptop for you to learn mobile. Pero pagka ang technique diyan is that once you're earning na in your career, kailangan mag-ipon ka rin on your own better laptop, di ba? So, if you want to buy your own Mac, yun yung pag-iipunan mo talaga yun.
Right. Or maybe start muna sa Android, no? Right?
Yeah, pwede. Android, yeah. Linux naman eh. So, ang maganda kasi sa Mac, pwede ka ng both Android tsaka iOS eh.
That's true.
yun eh. Tsaka, yeah, everything can be done. Pagka open source programmer ka kasi, you can do everything na sa Mac. Pagka nag-Microsoft ka naman, usually nasa .NET programming language ka. So, depende sa company kung saan ka mapupunta.
Right. So, medyo madami na tayong napag-usapan, no? Pero one of the things na we are curious about is your journey, right? How from, let's say, from school, did you even take up an internship? No, that's why you also have an internship program because maybe na-experience mo yung internship before. Up to a point na you decided na parang, hey, I don't want to work for someone else anymore. I want to make my own company, no? And I have the skills to be a technical founder and CEO. What was that journey like?
Sige. When I graduated in college, ang course ko is computer engineering. And then, during that time, I'm really passionate on computers. Pero wala pang experience on programming during that time. Ang passion ko noon was electronics when I graduated in college. And then, my first job was on a outsourcing company. Hindi pa rin siya programming related. Ang first role ko was on a business analyst side eh. So, na-train ako talking with clients, getting the requirements, building the tech specs. Yun yung ginagawa ko nun. Pero so I'm working in a software development company. So, may team doon na software engineers. And for me, nainggit ako na parang bakit hindi ako dapat nandun ako eh, hindi ako dito eh. So, yun yung nangyari sa akin eh. And mahirap mag-move on that position if you're already within the company dahil nga yung transition on different position, may mga internal maghihintay ka pa matagal, dadaan pa ng HR. So, naghanap ako ng other work outside ulit. Pero ang tinarget ko na is software engineer. So, yung 2 years na in-spend ko nung first job ko, parang na-reset ulit yun. Nag-junior software engineer muna ulit ako. Pero entering a junior software engineer position is also hard if you don't know any programming. So, marami talagang area na kailangan ko mag-aral on my own. So, ang ginawa ko, in-identify ko yung company gusto ko mag-apply, and then ni-research ko yung language na ginagamit nila, and then gumawa ko ng sarili kong application na in-upload ko sa GitHub, and then pinakita ko sa nila, and then yun, nakuha ko yung job. Kasi ang point kasi ng entry-level programmer is that pakita mo talaga na you're willing to learn eh. May initiative ka, di ba? Kung may GitHub account ka na at being a college student or okay na yun, malaking plus na yun eh. So, and syempre, attitude, di ba? Kailangan hardworking ka, passionate ka, team player ka. So, yun yung mga qualities being a successful programmer. And then, nag-spend ako ng 4 years doon sa company na yun. I was very privileged na nabigyan ako opportunity. Nag-start ako as a junior software engineer, and then nagmabot ako sa pagiging senior software engineer for the span of 4 years. And ang language ko na was C#.net. And then, during that time din, 4 years na yun, nag-take na rin ako ng master's degree ko sa UP. Which is, currently, professor ako ngayon doon. Nagtuturo rin ako ngayon dun sa college online. But I took the master's degree kasi gusto ko magdagdag lang ng part of my career growth during that time. Uso pa kasi talaga yung building your credentials, di ba? Certifications, master's diploma. So, niniwala ako dyan. And having that, parang I felt na parang I need it so that I can transition being a programmer to a management position. So, yun yung inaayos ko. Why? Because, syempre, gusto ko ng mas mataas na sahod. Kasi, di ba? Yun eh. Yun yung motivation mo eh. Parang, para ma-promote ka, hindi ka lang dapat mag-stick sa technical. Kailangan matuto ka mag-manage, mag-lead, and then magkaroon ng business expertise or skills, di ba?
Although papause lang kita saglit kasi baka yung audience natin. I do also have, and tingnan niyo yung other videos natin guys, no? We do have specialized, yung highly tech sila. Tumas naman sa od nila, no? You don't have to follow yung parang maging manager, right? So, tingnan niyo rin yung other videos. May playlist tayo later. Ewan ko lang sa lalabas, no? Pero tingnan niyo rin yun. Anyway, sige sir, sorry na-interrupt kita. Continue lang.
Okay lang. I-follow niyo yan, panoorin niyo yan guys. Pero, there's two paths nga, being a manager or being a tech architect. Pero being a tech architect, kailangan talaga sobrang galing ka sa programming. So, pero on my side kasi, during that time, gusto ko mag-manage ng tao eh. Gusto ko maging lead. And yun yung reason ko bakit ako nag-take ng masters. And yung nag-graduate ako ng master's degree ko sa UP, ang dami ko na-realize. Ang dami ko natutunan na about entrepreneurship. Doon na ako nagkaroon ng eye-opener about entrepreneurship. And nagkaroon ako ng bagong opportunity to be a lead developer na with a different company. So, nag-resign ako doon sa current company ko, and then nagkaroon ako opportunity with a different company. So, mas mahirap na yung responsibilities, yung tipong may mga deadlines na kailangan i-meet. Ako yung nag-manage sa buong team, ako yung nag-manage sa client. So, nagkaroon ako ng ganung experience na parang kausap ko na diretso yung client, tapos tinatranslate ko na yung mga business needs nila. Ako na yung nag-architect do sa team, nag-lead na sa kanila, and then, doing that for 3 years, parang yun yung skill set na kailangan mo to be successful in the tech entrepreneurship eh.
Yes.
So parang na-realize ko, parang kung alam ko na pala to, parang ito na yung pathway ko towards entrepreneurship. And then, after nun, nag-work ako sa startup naman. Kasi gusto ko rin ma-explore ano ba yung... Kasi doon kasi sa previous job ko, parang it's a multinational company na eh. And medyo stable na yun eh.
Yes.
And gusto ko muna magkaroon ng experience how to work in a startups na kung saan very early stage na company. So nag-work ako, and then daming challenges pa rin ng startup. Na-realize ko na, di ba, coming from a corporate, yes, parang very formal, yung talagang iba yung talagang work, may work culture talagang corporate. Pagdating sa startup, parang mag-gulat ka, naka-shorts, t-shirt na lang kami doon. Tapos parang iba talaga eh. Pero na-enjoy ko siya, na-enjoy ko yung transition. That's why, in my own company na, parang I apply both techniques. Yung natutunan ko sa corporate, tsaka natutunan ko sa startups. Marami lang talagang challenges sa startups kasi you will wear a lot of hats eh. And as a startup, kumbaga lagi may mga hard deadlines, and then doon ma-realize na doon ko na-experience yung mga delay yung sahod, minsan sobrang delay yung mga ganun. It really happens on the startup industry, kaya parang hindi yung mga kailangan yung pag-aralan if you're gonna look for a job. Compared to a corporate who is stable, hindi nila pwedeng, kumbaga walang ganun. Talagang everything is professional ang dating. And then, after that, bumalik ulit ako sa corporate, pero ang level naman nun is a corporate na nag-expand sa Philippines. So, may mother company, tapos naghahanap ng founding team in the Philippines, tapos to build from scratch. And then, nag-spend ako doon mga 2 years. Parang ako yung naging CTO doon sa company na yun.
Right.
And then, since nasa CTO level na ako, na-realize ko na I can now build my own company. So, while doing that work, nag-create na ako ng company with my wife. So, it's in Pragtechnologies, really, it's a family business. Me and my wife, na wife ko kasi, nasa accounting siya. He graduate, and kakatapos lang din niya ng MBA niya. So, sabi ko, sakto, sige, let's start our business. And then we started it out na bootstrap, na kumbaga, we're working on our corporate jobs, pero we have our own business, and we're transparent to our employers na parang we have our own small business na we're starting up, and wala naman naging issue doon. And doon, nag-build lang kami ng mga small clients, and then nagkaroon na kami ng mga big clients. Kailangan na namin mag-hire ng tao. Dati ako lang gumagawa, and then nag-hire na ako ng tao, and then yan na, tuloy-tuloy na. Yung nag-hire na ako ng tao, nakakuha na ako ng multinational clients, hanggang sa... So, yung naging stable na, nagkakaroon na ng mga
recurring
revenue,
clients.
Recurring clients. Nagkaroon na rin kami ng opportunity to do R&D, yung mga product-based na. So, doon namunga yung isang company ko, yung SeeYouDoc. Develop kami ng medical telemedicine na product.
And very timely for now, no?
It is. Pero yung nilaunch namin, 2018 pa yun. So, imagine mo, during that time, kumbaga, we just want to launch, penetrate the market and see how it will react. Hindi pa ready yung market nun eh. Pero the good thing is that na-figure out na namin yung mga things na kailangan i-build, how to comply with data privacy, and with all the accreditations na ready na namin. So yung nagkaroon ng pandemic, which no one is expecting, kami rin hindi namin expect, nagkaroon talaga ng big push ng demand and adoption to those technologies. So in a way, it's a blessing in disguise na nakaposition na kami on that side. And so at this stage, I'm full-time entrepreneur. So yung 5 years ago, yung medyo lumaki na yung company, yung business ko, nag-resign na ako doon sa last job ko, and then ito na ako ngayon.
Right. So, for our audience, no, you don't always have to jump immediately na parang risk it all. Sometimes pwede on the side, no? And then
Mm.
once booming na and ready na, that's the time you can transition. Again, it's a case-to-case basis, of course, no, for everyone. But at least you hear the story of Sir Noel. No?
Ang advice ko lang, if you're gonna really do it on the side, be transparent with your employer. Kasi ano eh, your integrity and reputation is very important in the industry. Kasi yung mga employers mo, sila rin yung maging pwedeng potential clients mo in the future. So you just need to honor like yung intellectual property ng employers, yung like hindi mo kukunin yung mga clients ng employers, bawal yun. And then hindi mo rin sisiraan yung mga employers nyo kasi it's really the integrity. Like, once na sira yung integrity, mahirap magnegosyo sa business, sa industry na to.
True. That. Sir, I mean, you've been based on the story and based on what you have now. With SeeYouDoc also, which we'll put the link below in the description as well, no? Para you can visit that out. You are very successful, no? Pero siguro for our audience, how do you define success, or in your own words, what makes you successful?
I don't think na successful na agad ako. So, I just say na parang it's really I'm still in this journey na trying to accomplish our mission. And in terms of measuring your success, is for me, it's always the small wins. The milestones that you are achieving every step of the way. Like when we started, as I mentioned, during sa journey ko, like when I took my master's degree, minake sure ko na natapos ko yung master's degree ko. Kaya yung nakuha ko yung credentials na yun, nagamit ko siya to open on other opportunities. And then once nakuha ko na yung opportunities na yun, pinrove ko talaga na kaya ko siyang gawin. Kasi you can always get that lead position or the CTO position pero can you really do it? And then you need to prove it for hindi lang siya for 3 months or 6 months. There's no parang fast way of doing it. You need to prove it for 3 years, right. Diba? And ganoon din yung sa business. Like there's no fast way of doing business. You need to start small and then make sure you are able to set milestones that you are achieving. And if you are not achieving them, okay lang. So may mga fail moments ka talaga. And then you just have to pivot, continue, and learn from the experience. So it's always that journey na it's a cycle na tuloy-tuloy lang. So it's not the end for me. So it's still, there's still a lot of mga target milestones for my company that we're achieving. In the business side naman sa Pragtech, we are also trying to expand to get more clients. And in this stage talaga, ang hirap na ngayon kasi everybody's working from home. Everybody's your competitor na rin dahil nag-freelance na yung mga tao. So, good thing we have our own product, di ba? And it's a health tech product pa, so very timely at this stage. So, you really need to have a strategy na you don't put all your eggs in one basket. Kumbaga, you really distribute them and so that whenever may mga nag-failed moments dyan, hindi ka masyado affected kasi you can still move forward with the rest. So, for me, the measurement of success is being in the game, being in the business. As long as you're in the game, in the business, you're a winner. For me, yun yung definition of success.
Right. And as you mentioned, no, parang there is no shortcut to success.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, hindi mag-ingat kayo again sa mga quick rich scheme, no? Or quick success scheme. Most likely hindi yan totoo. Ingat lang kayo dyan, audience.
Tapos ingat din kayo na like pagka quick yung mga ganung methods and then it will ruin your integrity. Diba? Like for example, may karoon ka ng opportunity na i-betray mo yung employer mo because nagkaroon ka ng ganitong yun yung mga iwasan talaga dahil the integrity talaga is you would only learn that after a few years na realize mo parang hindi ka na nag-move forward.
Right. And so, sir, for our last question lang is a general shout out or advice for our audience.
Well, if you want to go to you want to grow your career as a programmer, diba? First, you need to love programming. Like mentioned before, I'm still programming even though I'm a CEO. I don't really see myself being a CEO as an excuse not to code, diba? Kasi gusto ko talaga mag-code and gusto ko magturo. And one of my if I'm gonna measure success pala, is when I see my people grow in their careers, and then kung tatanda ko lang yung mga journey na parang ito hinire ko to fresh grad pero ngayon ang galing-galing na niya, dami na alam, he's already successful in life. Yun yung success metric ko, parang when I see that change to two people's lives. And so being a good developer, also remember na you need to maintain your integrity, and then be humble, and then always be open to share those knowledge, train people. Kasi if you are ang pinakamagaling na developer is the one who can make his team better. Yun yung technique talaga dyan, kasi you will realize na even though magaling kang programmer, matatalo ka lagi sa isang magaling na team. Kasi the team, iba talaga ang magic pag may teamwork talaga. So yun yung advice ko for all the audience.
Right. So that wraps up our session today, guys. Thank you so much, Sir Noel. No, I have one last question talaga. Bigla ko na naisip, no. Ano tinuturo mo ngayon? Like specifically, ano subject tinuturo mo?
I'm teaching technology-based entrepreneurship. Sa UP Diliman, is part of the master's degree in technology management.
There you go, guys. So if naghahanap kayo ng course na yon or subject na yon, pwede ba yung short course? Pwede bang kung kahit hindi ka nag-enroll sa masteral, pwede bang that specific course lang or kailangan naka-master?
Kailangan, part ka talaga ng master's degree. Kasi nandun yung entrepreneurship, R&D, technology adoptions, quality management, intellectual property. So it's really a whole package of program for you to get the masters in technology management.
Right. And how long yan? Is that something na parang full-time? Kailangan aralin? I mean, kailangan sila mag-stop mag-work para mag-aral? Or is that like
it's you can do it part-time. Ang ginawa ko noon, 3 years na 2 subjects ako per sem. Ang advice ko is wag mong going 3 or 4, mahirap talaga. I-enjoy mo lang yung journey, para bang you just parang gym lang yan, nandyan lang yan na you're doing after work, di ba? And then you are learning and enjoying the journey. And then one of the subjects nga doon is entrepreneurship, and ang style namin doon is ituturo ko talaga how to why are you gonna start a company? And then what are the qualities of a founder? How can you find a co-founder? How to build the right in terms of yung division ng mga cap table ng company, na nakaayos na siya for future rounds, naka-ready na yan for fundraising, kasama rin yung fundraising. Tapos at the end of the course, may pitching event na we invite mga incubators to listen, and yung mga mag-group kayo together, and then you build your own company para kayo mga co-founders, and you submit the business plan. The business plan, that's something na parang ready for for investors to look into for investment. So ganun siya.
All right. No, thank you for that additional knowledge, no. It sounds very interesting as a course, no. So yeah, guys, so if you're also interested in that, feel free to maybe comment below. Point ko dito, no, and we will forward that inquiry to Sir Noel, right? Okay, so that's it again. Thank you, everyone. I hope you enjoyed today's show, and goodbye.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
And of course, if you like our content, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe button, and hit that notification bell.
Yeah, follow nyo to. Maganda tong channel ni Raf.